Archon Shards. When these first came out, I was initially incredibly hyped to see what they would do, what each one was capable of, and to know how versatile they would make a certain frame or help really struggling in other areas. It was initially really positive to see these Archon Shards, and I want to get into the positives of Archon Shards before we get into why people are so upset about them. So first, obviously, they have flat bonuses, each colored shard giving you different bonuses, whether it be health, armor, power strength, ability, casting speed, things like that. And it was like small boons where it's like 150 health or 5 health a second or 10% power strength or 25% casting speed, just things that'll take the edge off of certain things without taking up a mod slot. So after getting the first one, you get all excited, find out that you can take them off and put them on other frames if you change your mind. Then you see the bile. The 50% bile cost to remove an item you can get once a week only. Now this is at launch of the Veilbreaker update, so you have the Archon hunts as the only way to get Archon Shards until probably 5 weeks later, until you finally hit a max rank in the Syndicate for Call. Then you get 2. But here's the problem with Archon Shards. Not only do they cycle every week, so you may not even get the one you want. You can only get 1, maybe 2 a week if you were on top of it day 1. But there is an excessively high cost, a ridiculously high cost, to even replace an Archon Shard from one frame into another per shard. And this isn't even the worst part. This isn't what really upsets people right now. That's what personally upsets me, because needing to go farm thermal sludge again on a planet I don't like is not exactly ideal, but that's personal preference. What has people so wound up is the fact that there are not only regular Archon Shards, but there's a variant of them called tauforged. And these tauforged shards are 50% stronger than their base equivalents, which means instead of 150 health, you'd get 225 health, and so on and so forth. So 10% power strength would convert into 15% power strength for these Archon Shards that are just blatantly better. But there's only a 20% chance per week from Archon hunts. As of right now, you cannot get Archon Shards that are tauforged from Call. They are exclusively a 20% chance per week from the Archon hunts. And this is incredibly unfair and incredibly ridiculous that it's this hard to get something so good. Now, they are good. They should be, in my eyes, they should be difficult to get, but not time gated per week, especially when there's 50 frames in the game. Not everyone uses every single frame in the game. You have your favorites, you have your play styles. That's not the point. The point is, if you wanted to get tauforged shards, even just one, you have to be incredibly lucky. I don't have a single tauforged shard, and I've been playing since day 1 Veilbreaker release. And because there's no other way to get tauforged shards, people are rightfully upset, like, what the heck? Why is this so RNG related, and why is it such a low chance every 7 days? And then someone did the math on Reddit and discovered that it was going to take a really ridiculously long time to slot in Archon Shards for every frame in the game, let alone Archon Shards that are tauforged. If you manage to get your hands on a tauforged, let's say you wanted to slot that in every single frame of the game. Unrealistic, probably never going to happen. If you wanted to do that, it was going to be a ridiculous time investment, just waiting for the chance to get a tauforged shard. So, as I said, people are rightfully very upset about this because we're a very hard to please community when it comes to new content. We burn through it so quickly, so they have these time gates to make it to where you have to keep playing, right? Well, there comes a point when there's a certain limit that I think people should endure or be willing to endure for grind. And simply not being able to access the content to even have a chance for it more than once a week is a bit much to me. Now, the big reason I'm talking about this is we need to make our voices heard on the subject, no different than the AoE changes or any other big issues we've had in the past. We need to make it very known and very clear, this isn't okay. This is ridiculous. So, with all that in mind, let's go over some of the changes and ideas some people have had about making tauforged shards just even a little bit more accessible outside of Archon hunts in some capacity. Someone had the idea to make it to where you could craft a tauforged shard out of some other new materials that would come with it, and another Archon Shard or 2 Archon Shards where you combine them to make a better one, or have there be a super expensive version from Call's inventory where it's a guaranteed Archon Shard, but you really have to keep your stock high to get enough to buy that one. But it would be a guaranteed way to do it, whether it be crafting or available through Call, even if it's just maybe bi-weekly, where it's every couple weeks there's a guaranteed Archon Shard. That would still be better than a hard determined gate of 7 days. You get one chance to get this very powerful item. So respectfully make your voices heard on how much we don't like this and how much we hope this will change, but be nice about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that the tauforged shards are fine? Do you think that they shouldn't exist at all? Do you think that Archon Shards as a whole are a flawed or ridiculous system? Are you happy they're in the game? Or what ideas you would have to improve it? Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video.